Commander Scott Kelly is a veteran of 4 space flights. He has captivated the world's minds and spirits when he left Earth back in March of 2015, bound for a year-long stay at the International Space Station. It was to be the single longest space mission by an American astronaut, 340 consecutive days in space, all to explore the effects of long-term travel on the human body. And although Commander Kelly maintained a rigorous exercise program in space, the physical toll of the voyage was evident upon his return to Earth a year later in March 2016. Scott Kelly experienced things in space and upon his return back home that very few have. Now, in a stunning and personal memoir titled Endurance, A Year in Space, A Lifetime of Discovery, this astronaut and modern-day hero delivers a candid account of his remarkable voyage, the journeys that preceded it, and his colorful and inspirational formative years. And in November, PBS will present Beyond a Year in Space, a documentary showing Commander Kelly's adjustment to Earth after his record-breaking mission. Let's take a look.
A year is a long time to be in space.
Astronaut Scott Kelly
Welcome home.
and his twin brother Mark,
2 men with identical genomes,
are part of an unprecedented experiment.
It's not just you readapting to Earth, it's people readapting to you back.
That tests the boundaries of man
Coming back, it was harder than I thought.
and opens the door for the next generation.
This study will help us get to Mars someday.
Beyond a Year in Space premieres Wednesday, November 15th at 9/8 Central, only on PBS.
And we are delighted to have Commander Scott Kelly joining us now to talk about this. So nice to meet you. It's a
Thank
pleasure
you.
to have you here with us.
Thank you very much.
I want to talk to you about some of the specifics of this mission and since you've come home. But I want to start with the bigger question. It's a question for the rest of us is purely theoretical. Why go to space? For you, it was very personal. How did you answer that question for you?
Well, I think, our species, we are naturally explorers. I think, civilizations that have stopped growing and expanding and exploring have ceased to exist. So it's important for us. But there's also, a lot of benefits we get from the space program, technological advances that are required for us to fly in space that are also useful right down here on Earth. So for me, I believe in both of those things very, very strongly. I think spaceflight is important for us as a civilization. It should be one of our top priorities, and that's why I did it.
As I mentioned, 4 times, 4 journeys. When you were approached with the idea of spending a full year in space, what was your first reaction to that?
No, thank you.
Why?
Because I had, when we started talking about this at NASA, I had, recently got back from being on the space station for 6 months, which is a really long time. And so the idea of spending over twice as long didn't really appeal to me much at first. But then when I started thinking about the challenge of doing the job, of living in that environment for a long period of time, I thought, I want to fly in space again. If I fly for 6 months, it'll be very similar to what I did last time. This is much more challenging because of the duration, so I eventually warmed up to the idea.
Personally, what was the struggle for you in terms of certainly a safety concern?
Yeah.
I mean, we've been fortunate through much of the history of NASA and our space flight, but we know that there have been tragedies. And personally, in the sense of, it's a year in your life that you're going to be away from people who are very close to you. How'd you deal with that?
Well, the hardest part is that, separation from your friends and family, your loved ones especially, and, conceptually knowing that if something happened to them on the ground, there's nothing you could do to be there with them. You can't leave for a family emergency. And I experienced that on my previous flight when my sister-in-law, Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords, was shot, and I was halfway
You're
through.
in space.
Yeah, a 6-month flight. So it's, the biggest concern for me was always those kind of things happening, not really my own personal safety, although, that is at risk. But that's the hardest part about being up there, knowing if something happened to your children or your loved ones that you couldn't really be there for them.
This book is a marvelous look at a number of journeys, right? I think in endurance, you talk about endurance not only in space for a year, but the endurance that gets you there, the endurance after you come back.
Yeah.
And you do talk about your own personal journey. And you're very candid. I think at one point in time you say you were characterize yourself as sort of a below average guy who all of a sudden is getting himself into a significantly above average chore here. Did you ever, sometimes people will say, from the time I was born, I envisioned myself being a something. When was it that you first started thinking, I can envision myself being up there?
So I was a kid growing up that likely if I would have been in school today, I would be diagnosed with ADD or ADHD. I could not pay attention in class. Absolutely impossible. Until eventually I'm in college. Somehow I made it there. And I'm walking across the campus and I go into the bookstore to buy gum or something, not a book. And I picked up the right stuff. And I read the right stuff. And I could relate to the fighter pilots and that became the test pilots that became the original astronauts. And, I decided that I was going to do whatever I could to try to be like these guys. And where I needed to start was I need to learn how to pay attention, do my homework, become a better student. When I think back on it, you think that's a giant leap. 18-year-old kid decides he's going to be an astronaut. But what it was really a bunch of very, very small, manageable steps to get there. And but I think that's a big part of this story is it's not just about space. It's also about this kid that was this chronic underperformer that found motivation and a spark that changed his life. And then 17 years later, I'm flying in space for the first time.
Funny, if people watching us have not read The Right Stuff, they should. It's just a fantastic book on so many levels. But it's interesting how many of those characters lived sort of life similar to yours until they found where they belonged.
Yeah.
Were you struck by that also?
Exactly. I mean, I could really relate to their, their personalities, their characters, how Tom Wolfe described them. And I said, I think I'm like these guys, with one exception. I'm a horrible student, and clearly, as an astronaut, you're supposed to be a top performer in certain areas. So it was a challenge for me, but I think it's a great example that you can, find inspiration, motivate yourself, work hard, and hopefully be successful.
Well, Scott, as I said, the book is called Endurance: A Year in Space, A Lifetime of Discovery. It's a marvelous read, a biography, in some ways a novel when you're reading through this. The pictures are breathtaking, and people have said this to you before, but we toss around the word hero sometimes a little bit too casually, but we are delighted to embrace you as an American hero.
Thank you.
And we're so pleased that you spent some time with us. You be well.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff.
And a reminder for you, Scott Kelly's memoir, as I said, Endurance: A Year in Space, A Lifetime of Discovery, is out now. And on November 15th, PBS will premiere Beyond a Year in Space at 9 p.m. It will be preceded by an encore broadcast of A Year in Space at 8 p.m. For more information, log on to metrofocus.org.